Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Show. Thank you so much for being around. 7 minutes after the hour. One more hour to go, and we'll call it a Thursday and head off to Friday. Big Friday show. Friday in progress on the Friday show. First time in a while for me. I can't wait.
Final tally for Nick and Poops.
I was just doing that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Sherry, never you fear, I will never release that. Sherry, I love our super texters. I love phone calls. I love talking to folks on the phone. I love the super texters almost as much. The chat over there on the YouTube channel is absolutely insane. There's a lot of insane people that go on. I mean, and I love that too. But special place in my heart for callers. But Sherry writes in and says, "Hey, I didn't mean to see you." She sent us her entire contact list, accidentally, I think.
Was there a Jackson in there?
There was a Jason.
I'll take that. That's a vote for me.
Yeah, I don't think so. Something about cigarettes. Oh, she sent us what is this? Cigarettes, 29,730. I don't know what any of this means. She said, I didn't mean to send you guys a contact list. I was just sending you the screenshot of my app since I quit. It's awesome because you input how much you smoke a day and how much that day cost you to smoke. Real quick, I want to go over this real quick, and then I'll get to the tally. I don't want to belabor it, but if you smoke and you no longer wish to smoke, I fully agree and wholeheartedly support Ken Weaver's statement that you just have to quit. Because all you need to quit is to want to.
Yep.
If you truly want to quit smoking, you have the ability. You have everything inside of you. You don't need any outside agency. You don't need Nicorette. You don't need but Ken, I'm not proud of this to say this, and do not do this. I will preface it by saying, do not do this. It is dangerous. I was on the patch. I smoked on top of the patch.
A lot of people have.
And it is dangerous because it gets your heart rate going and it releases the nicotine. It's bad. You shouldn't do it. But so I patched it, but I didn't really want to quit. But when I wanted to quit, I won't say that it was easy because it was not easy because it is psychologically and physically addictive. But it was pretty simple. It was straightforward. I don't smoke. I don't. Yeah. And so
go ahead.
No, you.
Well, I mean, for one thing, my daughter, whenever she turned 5, she asked me to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, that was just, I didn't know whether to get mad or sad.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, leave me alone. But anyway, that was one thing. And then I don't know, man, I look at this as kind of, I was fortunate in that what helped me is I caught a nasty, nasty lung infection. And I was like out sick for an entire week. So I went without smoking a cigarette for 7 days. And I don't know, whenever I started feeling better, I thought, you know what? I've already got, it's kind of like what you were talking about. I've gone 7 days. Mm-hmm. Let's go 8.
Yeah.
Let's go 9.
Right.
And you just keep on. You almost turn it into an OCD thing.
Yeah, a game, if you will, or and mine was just I thought about it as marbles in a bowl. That I have 40 marbles. Now I have 41 marbles.
Right.
And if I take one puff of one cigarette, I'm gonna have to turn that bowl upside down and empty all of those marbles out of that bowl and start over. And I'm like, but that's just wasted time.
Yes.
And look, I encourage anybody, just get into the mindset that you don't smoke anymore. Is it hard? Yeah, it sure is.
Boy, it is. It is.
But we got you back on the afternoon portion of the broadcast day on Super Talk. I don't think any of us smoke.
Huh. No,
anybody on the station smoke.
I will tug on a cigar.
Well, yeah. I said that I would quit for 5 years because I feared starting back. If I puffed on a cigar, I said, but after 5 years, I'm going to become a cigar smoker. That's what I told myself.
Which can get you too.
Yeah, I mean, but I tried it for a while, Ken, and then I remember there was a point. I still will occasionally smoke a cigar if I'm in the mood, But
Right.
in terms of regularly, I'm like, I don't really like them that much.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it makes your mouth taste like, that old boy shoved a pipe in there in your nincompoop store.
I've gotten to smoke 2 cigars
Yeah, you're
in
first
the
in your
past
lines?
couple of years
First
with
in your lines?
Tennessee beating Alabama.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You boys like to puff up, don't you?
Absolutely. It is one of the most euphoric feelings as a football fan I've ever felt.
Well, because you had never felt it in your adult life prior to a couple of years ago.
Well, to be fair, my adult
mean,
life,
well,
like I'm 25, so like my
Right.
adult life,
I'm just saying. I mean, I think Alabama got to what, 15?
16.
Yeah, but y'all got 2 out of 3.
Woo!
How about that? All right, so there's our friendly piece of advice of the day from Ken Weaver, Matt Murphy. Puffing on cigars, that's all well and good, but get rid of them nasty. Frank says, y'all, Frank on the Super Text line, you and Ken making me want a cigarette. My grandpa, I never knew him when he smoked. He stopped when I was a year old, and he occasionally, I would come home from college and I smoked Marlboro Lights when they called them that. And I would just throw him a pack of cigarettes on the counter and I would come in to the kitchen and I would occasionally catch him. He would have a cigarette out and he was holding it under his nose, sniffing it. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was funny. I said, well, what are you doing, Pa? Smoking. and I was like, you still want one? He's every day of my life.
Yeah.
Every day of my life. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, but it'll kill you. That's the problem.
It sure will. And then when you lay in bed and you listen to yourself wheezing,
That's right.
that's not good.
I mean, I was a 32-year-old overweight man. I'd get in the shower every morning and cough up black crap.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's no good. That's
a sign.
No way to live your life. All right, 615-737-9986. If you want to get in here, Tim wants to talk about Mr. Epstein. Hello, Tim.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
I just didn't know if anybody's brought this up about what's going on with Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and all. And I'm wondering if they're just possibly they're pulling a sting because they can basically, unless you get them in a congressional meeting where you can ask them under oath, they could just say what they're at. I think right now they could be doing a sting because they don't want to say, hey, we got a list here because all the people that are guilty are going to be running to flee the country. They want to catch them. So I think they might be possibly doing a sting. That's my opinion.
Well, how does that work? I mean, I just don't.
It's like an undercover operation. If somebody directly said to you, do you have the list of all these people that are guilty and you want to catch them? You'd say, no, I don't have anything. So you want these guys to stay where they're at, be happy, they go back into whatever their nonsense they've been doing so you can nail them on a big raid. I think that's what they could be doing. Unless you get them under a congressional or Senate hearing and ask these questions to them, they can just say whatever they want unless you have them under oath. Then they can say, oh, we do have a list.
Well, but this isn't, I mean, to me, it's not a matter of a congressional hearing. It's a matter of being arrested.
What was that?
I said, you say you get them under oath in a Senate hearing or it's not a matter of a Senate hearing, right? It's a matter of the law enforcement going to their home and arresting them.
Right.
That's a criminal proceeding, not a political
But if
one.
if they're going to do a sting, they're going to have to keep it quiet until they can nail them. Also, I mean, there's got to be a list because why was that Dick Durbin guy stonewalling forever?
Well, Tim, I feel you, and I'm not discounting that maybe that is somewhere in the realm of possibility. I feel like, and I'm not talking down to you, but I mean, I feel like it's more wishful thinking on your part than anything.
Right. I can understand.
But maybe so. Maybe they're playing a long game that we can't quite see, and one of these days we're going to see the arrest of 10 or 15 or 20 or 120 or whatever. I hope so. Right. I hope you're right. I really do.
I think the first he's got to have that midterm election where they can switch some of these judges. Everything he does right now to fight the judges pop up and fight him, and then you get prosecutors like in the P. Diddy case, Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter. She was also involved in the Epstein case, and she's not going to be looking for anything. And I'm going to be honest, P. Diddy's going to walk too, and that's. Like I said, I'm just saying.
Well, thank you, Tim. P. Diddy will get. I mean, Diddy was overcharged, in my opinion. I'm a Diddy-free show. I don't talk about that case because I don't give a damn about it, and I don't want to invest my time. But whatever time investment that I've made of that case, I would say this: that it seemed to me that there was an overcharge in terms of the racketeering, and the jury saw that. There maybe was a disbelief in some of the witnesses that came forward that they were being hijacked against their will. So the trafficking issues kind of went that way too. And they all but admitted that they were carrying prostitutes across state lines. So, you know what? Remains to be seen how much jail time he serves. It wouldn't surprise me if he got some amount of jail, 6 months or a year, probably not nearly what he deserves. But that's just my basic takeaway, that there was an overcharge in the P. Diddy case, and that's what led to an acquittal on several of the more serious counts. Now, I admit I don't know a lot about the case because I haven't been following it, because all of it's disgusting to me. And I pick and choose some of the things I don't follow, and I don't follow that, or I haven't. On the Epstein front, Tim, I understand why you feel the way you feel. I want to believe that there's some hidden reason why we're not getting transparency out of the administration when it comes to that. But I don't believe for a second that they're holding out to charge people, or they're claiming. I don't think it's some sort of double head fake going on. I think they just want the issue to go away. I think if that is a matter of protecting intelligence agencies like the CIA, intelligence agencies like the Mossad, both, or if that's a matter of protecting individuals, I don't know. But it feels to me like they would just as soon nobody talk about Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files any longer. It's 19 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I mean, everybody's asking. I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but I did. I won. For those of you asking on the Super Text line, I've tallied all the votes and I have won.
I would like a recount.
I don't win very often, but I have won today. Oftentimes it is Ken Weaver. Sometimes Jackson gets the sympathy vote. But today, for whatever reason, I mean, maybe it was crack pipe up the butt. I don't know. I won. So
crack pipe up the butt was pretty good. I forgot that was yours.
Yeah. And by the way, it wasn't my first one. My first one was RV, and
Rinkle.
Yeah.
It was crack up the crack.
Crack up the crack.
Both involved crack.
That's true.
Here's the disturbing thing about that too, as if it's not disturbing enough. What was he going to do with that pipe had he gotten away with it?
Well,
he was just going to use it again.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and when you're in a pinch, you got to find a hidey hole somewhere, Ken.
I'll just blow on it. That'll clean it.
Yeah. I'll just wash it off. So the biggest question that came out of that story from the super texters, what was she doing looking up there? I mean, ma'am, you are here to deal with a knife wound. You are not here to deal with my bunghole.
Maybe they took a case. We need to ask Jay about that tomorrow.
Maybe. I mean, I don't want to be too graphic, but maybe she saw a glimmer of shiny tinfoil, maybe.
What is that?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Need to help this fella out.
I don't think that's what his parents meant by rub some dirt on it.
I have heard stories about jailhouse confessions of things smuggled. And actually, there's a book, and I forget, this was actually from the emergency room. There was a book that was collected over the years. A guy went around emergency rooms and collected the most interesting, shall we say, x-rays of objects discovered in, places. And
Well, remember my story about Buzz Lightyear, but we changed it to Butt Lightyear?
Wait, what? I wasn't here for that, Ken.
Yeah, some fella Some fella wound up in an ER with Buzz Lightyear right up there.
I don't think that's what he meant by it. To
To
infinity,
infinity
and beyond.
beyond. Oh
But
my God!
what
I
you're
have
talking
reached
about-
beyond.
But remember, we
don't
were talking
like it.
with Brink Fiddler. Remember, and he was telling us about, he said, "Oh yeah, there's stories out there."
Oh,
I bet you
100%.
Brink's got some stories.
Oh, 100%.
Because he was a drug cop, right?
He was a drug interdiction task force guy. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, but the ones that amaze me, there are stories that are true of people who have hidden small guns,
Goodness.
pistols. Those
Man.
pistols have an L to them, y'all. They have an L shape, and I don't understand. Well,
I hope the safety was on.
I don't even want to. I mean, I don't even want to contemplate it. I mean, is there a part that? I mean, it's like the handle kind of. I guess. You
They
kind of
would do what some people in the 50s called the twist.
leave the handle at the ready, and wah. And so,
Why is it wet?
quick draw. Good gracious. 1733 says it's the old prison purse.
Exactly.
That's right.
The prison purse.
Yeah, that's what Brink called it.
That's right. That's exactly what he called it, the prison purse. All right, let's transition away from the prison purse to roadway etiquette. After hours on the road, according to the Tennessean article that I read earlier today, I wasn't aware of this. And it was interesting enough to me that I thought I would share it with you. A few things are more aggravating than a driver lingering in the left lane, and I would agree with that. I was not a fan of specifically identifying cell phone use as a targetable offense for police officers for a long time because I'm a libertarian, and I don't believe that we need to pass additional laws where there is no need. And distracted driving is already an offense. So why not just, charge these people with distracted driving? But officers around the country and around the various states said, no, we need to put some more meat on the bone when it comes to texting and driving. And over the years, I've been convinced that it's necessary. But let me tell you, that if you find someone in the middle of the day that you're driving behind and they are weaving on the roadways to the point that you believe that they're drunk, you get beside them and 8 or 9 times out of 10, they're on their phone. There is nothing else that people do in their cars, eating, putting on makeup, nothing else that they do that more resembles drunk driving than texting and driving. Speeding up and slowing down and doing it. It is absurd, and you are a danger on the roadways. Well, in Tennessee, there is a remedy for those left lane drivers, right? So I'm annoyed by texting and driving, but I don't think anything bugs me more than someone going under the flow of traffic in the left-hand lane. And you see it more and more and more and more. These entitled people that think that, it's perfectly acceptable even if I'm going 70 miles an hour or I'm going 65 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour zone. It's perfectly acceptable for me to just cruise in the left-hand lane, and screw you, you can pass on the right. That's not the way that it works, or at least it shouldn't work that way. Sometimes, on occasion, if I'm annoyed just enough, you know what I do? I will
Give somebody the finger?
No, I don't give them the finger because sometimes you get the. You know what I'll do though? If they're going like 60 and it's 70 and they're in the left lane, I'll pass them on the right, which I shouldn't have to do. I'll get back in front of them and then I'll go 50. So I will slow down in front of them in the left-hand lane slower than they're driving. And then when they have to pass you on the right, they get all mad at you. They get all pissy. I'm like, what? I'm just doing what you were doing to me. Anyway, did y'all know there's a slowpoke law in Tennessee?
Yeah.
I did not know this, but I will. Jackson knew. We'll share it with everybody in just a moment, right after the news on Super Talk. I don't want to revisit it too much, and I think Jackson has something of an update for us. I don't know what this update is, but he has an update for us, and we'll get to that in just a moment. I don't want to completely relitigate this, but I do want to answer it because Justin writes in, and he says, Matt, why are so many conservatives? I'm not a conservative, by the way, but be that as I'm just not. I don't say that because I have much of a difference with so many conservatives that listen to this radio show. It's just I try to be accurate and factual. I'm much more of a libertarian, small L libertarian, than I am a conservative. Matt, why are so many conservatives ignoring the fact that the Biden administration had access to the Epstein files for years? The same corrupt administration that doctored FISA applications, destroyed J6 evidence, etc. Biden tampered with the files. Bondi has nothing actionable to share. I don't think we're ignoring this possibility, Justin, except to say that that's not what they're saying to us. If the files were there, I mean, Bondi said she had them. Bondi said they're on my desk. The Southern District of New York turned them over. So why don't they tell us that if that's the case? Well, if your answer is, well, they don't know, well, then why did they say they had it and they don't have it? Right? There would be evidence of destruction of evidence. There would be a chain of events. You could put people under the white-hot spotlight of interrogation and figure these things out. There would be witnesses to the event. There would be actionable things that they did that you could see in real. I mean, there would be a trail of, even if it's just a trail of the erasure, there would be trails of the erasure. So if that is what happened, and a lot of people are grasping at straws because they don't want this cloud hanging over the Trump administration. And I'm not saying that in a way that should be considered to be condescending. I'm not trying to be condescending to people. But I am trying to be reasonable. That if we see that evidence was destroyed or tampered with, then you just say that, and you say we're going after the people that did that. Ray writes in and says, but Matt, she wouldn't know what she should have or shouldn't have. She doesn't know how many files should have actually been in it. Oh, so we're left with it's not that the Trump people just don't want to talk about it, that the Biden folks committed the perfect crime? Really? I do not believe that our very best within the National Security Agency apparatus, within the FBI, within the CIA, could not find evidence, at least evidence of the erasure, if they wanted to. They could. There's going to be a footprint. There's going to be a I mean, I don't, and I know that we don't like to hear this. Once again, this is not a deal breaker. Guys, we can be frustrated and upset about certain aspects of this and still believe in and move forward with the Trump administration and the Trump agenda. That doesn't mean that we can't be disappointed. We can be disappointed. It does not have to be an all or nothing. One of the least likable aspects of politics in 2025, and I've been doing this for a quarter of a century now, is this misguided and, in my opinion, somewhat childish belief that if I agree with you 9 times and disagree with you once, you have to be my enemy. And that if we disagree with the Trump administration on something very important to people, that somehow means the Trump administration is the enemy. 5510 says, we nothing, you're the one acting like a spoiled child. Well, tell me how that is. My number is open. I'm not above reproach. I'm happy to listen to how I'm acting like a spoiled child by calling the baby ugly and by telling the truth about this. 5510, you just don't want to deal with it. You write me, quit gaslighting, quit reaching out to the morons ready to jump ship. 6 wonderful months and so many. Nobody's discounting the wins, bud. You're talking about child rape. I'm not acting like a spoiled child. But you're entitled to your opinion, too. You insist that Trump's right about everything, every single thing. Well, he's right about most things. And I'm the one on record, 5510, as saying that the first 6 months of the second term of Donald Trump's presidency have been the greatest 6 months in the history of the presidency, Epstein included. And I'm telling people to jump ship? Come on, bud. If we can agree, I mean, Ronald Reagan said that if I agree with you 85% of the time and we disagree 15% of the time, that doesn't mean you're my enemy. And I know that it has hit a chord because so many of you that are Trump supporters don't want to talk about it. Well, it bothers me if people in high levels of the American government have dismissed child rapists because they're too big to prosecute. And I feel like what's his gosh darn it, what's the actor's name? Godfather.
Al Pacino?
Al Pacino. I feel like Al Pacino in Godfather Part 3. Every time I try to get out, they drag me back in. Mike is next up. Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing. I heard y'all a little while ago. I was in the shower, and y'all are going on about quitting smoking. If you want to simplify that, ease it up a little bit, you quit with the signs. Get an almanac. And you quit, and then it's been a minute because I've been quit for 20-some-odd years, but I believe it was in the feet. You'll have to get an almanac to understand what I'm talking about because I can see your face right now. You're switching it up.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying, that you get an almanac.
Yep, Farmer's Almanac,
mm-hmm.
and you quit, and I believe it was in the feet, at the same time you wean calves and such, or you clip your calves. I believe it was in the feet.
Are you saying
I know,
feet?
I can see your face, and you're like, what?
Well, Mike,
I can see it.
Well, I don't think you can see my face in real time because YouTube is about 30 seconds behind, but whatever. Are you saying feet?
Yes, F-E-E-T.
Okay.
Feet.
So
if you get an almanac, you'll understand it, and it just makes life a whole heck of a lot easier. I tried everything, and it makes life easier.
Explain to me what you mean.
All right, in the almanac, it's got for planting, for cutting calves, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it will tell you when to do this, what time of year to do it. Okay, planting and everything.
Right, sure.
So it would give you the best days of smoking to quit smoking.
So the almanac, Farmer's Almanac, or it will tell you when to stop smoking.
It's not going to tell you, but you want to quit when it's time to quit. Like for quitting, the best days to quit smoking should be July 16th, July 24th, August 12th, August 16th, September 8th, and those are the days to do it.
Why
start that day?
Why is that?
You got me, man. I don't know. These guys have been around a whole lot longer than I have, doing stuff a whole lot longer than I have. This country's been around for 200-some-odd years.
Wow. Well, that's cool. I did not know that they offered those types of days in the Farmer's Almanac. That's great news.
Yeah, I thought it was because it helped me.
Yeah, man. Well, anything to help. Thank you, Mike, for the advice. Grab yourself a Farmer's Almanac, and if you're just needing that extra push, that extra lean into what you're doing, then that's a great way to get that lean. I mentioned the slowpoke law. I want to go back to this. According to Tennessee Code 558-204, that's 55-8-204, On interstate and multi-lane divided highways that are 2 or more lanes in each direction, a person shall not operate a vehicle in the passing lane except when overtaking a passing vehicle or passing a vehicle that is in a non-passing lane. In the text, the passing lane refers to the far left lane on a roadway with 2 or more lanes. The lanes in the middle of a 3 or more lane interstate are not considered passing lanes. Essentially, Tennessee drivers, residents, and those passing through should only be in the left-hand lane if overtaking another car. If a driver is not passing and remains in the left lane, it would be considered a violation of the law, whether or not you are obstructing traffic. A violation of the law is a Class C misdemeanor punishable by a fine of $50. In Tennessee, the maximum speed limit on any highway or public road. Wait a minute. In Tennessee, the maximum speed limit on any highway or public road is 65 miles an hour? That's not true.
That's not what I'm going.
It's 70.
75 in some places.
In Tennessee?
I believe so.
Well, it's certainly 70 in some places. I don't know why they're saying 65. Anyway, bottom line is this. I implore and beg of the good people of the Tennessee Highway Patrol and other organizations to get a handle on these jerks that are slow left lane drivers. Man, oh man, it's just awful. And to finish up on the smoking thought, because a lot of folks are on the super text line, I'm reminded of the great Mark Twain quote. Mark Twain, one of the most quotable Americans in our history, said, I don't know what everybody's so concerned about when it comes to quitting smoking. Quitting smoking, it's the easiest thing I've ever done. I bet I've done it 1,000 times. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, wrapping it up right after this. Typing with one hand sucks, man. It absolutely sucks. Hey, friends, we've got a minute or two left on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm taking these off hold just for one particular reason, Jackson, because 5510, I want him to call me. He said, I was dialing your number after you calling me out, but I'll have to wait. I don't think I'm up to following Mike and his almanac. Have a good evening. Look, I would love to talk. I wish you would call. I guarantee we will remain friends. I understand that these are subject matters in which people have very strong feelings. I have strong feelings, and I express those strong feelings. I would think that you would want somebody that is convicted in their beliefs as opposed to a squishy, middle-of-the-road mushmouth. I would hope. Even if that means sometimes we're going to disagree and maybe butt heads from time to time. That's okay, too. We're all grown-ups. Debbie is next. Debbie, thank you for the call. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great.
Okay. Now, what he was saying earlier about the zodiac signs, the zodiac signs on the calendar, and you have to get that sign calendar, and it will show you the head, the neck, the breast, the reins, the thighs. And if you're going to quit smoking, you have to start that when the signs are going down. Like, you wouldn't want it in the head. That's where your mouth is, right? Or like if you're weaning a child, you wouldn't try to start when it was in the breast. It has to be going down, and they do work.
It's you know what? I've never involved myself enough with so this and these things are found in the Farmer's Almanac, like the fellow was saying.
It is in the Farmer's Almanac, but it's also on a Farmer's Almanac calendar. You know there's a little moon man. Sometimes it looks like he's running in the rain or whatever on the corner of those calendars.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah, sure. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the signs are on there. You'll see ones that look like the reins are on there. The reins are like the scale. Have you ever seen their little scale? Okay, so those are the. There's a part called the secrets, which obvious is your, secrets, and like you wouldn't castrate cows or something like that in the secrets; they'll bleed out.
And my grandmother used to tell me something about you shouldn't milk cows on certain days after certain things, otherwise the milk would be sour. Now,
we used to milk. I used to milk. I've never heard that. We milked twice a day, every day, So we never had that problem.
I might, but Debbie, I might be getting all that wrong. I vaguely remember it, so I might be. Well,
Grandma.
no, I've learned. I'm going to pick up a Farmer's Almanac now and check it out. Debbie, thank you for the call. Thank you all for being a part of the Matt Murphy Show. Agree or disagree, absolutely love you, your family, and I so respect your time on a daily basis. I appreciate you spending a little bit of it with us on a daily basis. We got a Fry Jay coming up tomorrow. Fry Jay includes, of course, Jay St. Clair in the 4 o'clock hour, and my man, Senator Bill Haggerty, coming up at 5:05 tomorrow afternoon, talking about the BBL, the Big Beautiful Law, amongst other things. Excited about that. For Ken Weaver, for Young Jackson, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, have a wonderful evening. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.